Holly Lynn Walrath's poetry and short fiction has appeared in Strange Horizons, Fireside Fiction, Analog, and Flash Fiction Online. She is the author of several books of poetry, including Glimmerglass Girl, 2018, Numinose Lapidi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, 2020, and The Smallest of Bones, 2021. She is the managing editor of Interstellar Flight Press. Holly Lynn, over to you, and you can pronounce the name of your second collection better than I can. Thanks.
Thanks. It's Numinos Lapidi, which is Italian. So it's a collection entirely in Italian. I don't speak Italian, but it was translated from English into Italian. So it's pretty cool. And I'm very delighted to be here because Rachel, who just read, has published 2 of my short stories. One in the Coppice and Break anthology, and the second is coming soon in a Woman Unbecoming anthology, all of which the proceeds go to support reproductive health rights. So that's pretty cool to have us both on this. But I'm going to read a little bit today from The Smallest of Bones, and then I might read a little bit of a short story also. The Smallest of Bones is my book of short poems. So each poem each section of the book has a poem that is like sort of a longer poem and then a bunch of little poems. So I'll just read them all together. So sacrum. Formed by the fusing of sacral vertebrae, the sacrum is a large triangular bone at the base of the spine. It is situated between the 2 hard wings of the pelvis. Curved upon itself, the base of the sacrum careens forward. Before the adoption of the word sacrum, the bone was called holy in Greek, hieron ostion, and was used for animal sacrifice. In females of the species, the sacrum is shorter and wider. Researchers comment on how this is more valuable to childbearing, because even our bones are made for what men want. Because as hard as we try to be sacred, they can always use us for sacrifice. In Greek, hieron also meant temple. Within its bony concavity hides the ovaries and uterus, the sacred organs of procreation. Thanks to its great size, the sacrum is usually the last bone of a buried body to rot. You meander through my dreams like the ghost you made out of my future. We are bottled up with each other and the message. There's a town born underwater, and all the people know how to really breathe. But I don't speak this current language. I used to listen to your music on repeat until I discovered all the cuts it was leaving in the hidden places, my thighs and calves. So I stopped putting myself in that position. But pain is like a melody you can't forget. There was this girl I knew who believed in love, but she took up arms. She took up arms, but when it came time to fight, all she found in her arms was a bouquet of pain. When you leave me in the landfills, hotel rooms, temples, and canyons, I feel peaceful for a moment. My mind rests on some slim idea of beauty, and then discomfort slips in like a needle, like the riot of my body displayed in all its unglory. You hold a light up to your teeth. See how transparent I've become. I put my breast in your mouth to shut you up. I grew you in a tank, cartilage and soft spines. Othering you gives me pleasure, that and the taste of your smile. Aren't we still primitive? You asked me in bed. Aren't we still ancestors? And say my name again. Say it into my skin. Carve it on my bones, even the ones I don't use, like my hips. I am holy if I am not a temple. Am I human? We must love like a story, like poetry. We must love. So if you're into that, that's going to be the one I'm giving away later. So there's that. And then I will read a little bit from a short story in Other Terrors, which is the Horror Writers Association anthology that came out in July. This is a historical short fiction. It's called The Asylum. Proem. Men are called insane, but women are called lunatics. The word means moonstruck. A woman's madness is unpredictable, cyclical, like the gray moon. Women are driven by its light like tides, full of cracks and flaws, just threatening to let the light show. Administration and reception. One of us practiced lunacy every night in the mirror to get here. We feel quite bad for her because Nellie is a journalist and she merely had to act crazy to get here by pretending to believe she was poisoned. This is not so bad by itself. Some of us did this as well because we were hungry and poor, but also because Nellie seems to think she will be allowed to leave when she tells them the truth. You see, she treats this place like a game, but it's much more than that. We must admit, Nellie is a rather good actress. Even Ida agrees, and Ida saw Sarah Bernhardt die on stage, in French, no less, at her first performance in America with 27 curtain calls. Ida's family is rather rich. In the entryway, there are haircloth sofas, and we are asked to remove our jewelry for safekeeping, our pearls laid neatly in a box labeled with our names. The doctors ask us why we are here, and we never know why, not the real reason. We are not sure where here is until we are locked in the ward by the overseers, who are plain older women named Miss Davis and Miss Brown. No decent married woman would be caught dead in here. That is the message they send. The night they brought Nellie in, we heard her ask, "What if there is a fire?" as Miss Davis locked her door with the little key ring she carries at her waist. We laughed along with the overseers like hyenas. Then all of the women would burn up, Miss Davis said, and retreated to her desk in reception. It has not escaped our attention that Miss Davis and Miss Brown are women, too, but for some reason, we are the ones referred to as such. Nellie begged to God the first 9 nights, having only planned on being here for 10, until someone, we believe it was Ethel, said in the darkness in a low and honestly threatening tone, "She'll not last till morning." Then there was a strangled noise and the voice went quiet. In the morning, Ethel would not speak. When she saw Nellie, she shook her head in terror and tried to run and had to be tied down. The doctors were very curious about the silence, and they cut out Ethel's tongue so they could study it. "Barbarian," said Hattie, who was a scientist, or was before her colleagues had her committed for being a woman with too many ideas. Later, Ethel had convulsions and was sent to the dead house. But of course, Nellie did leave, and we are told she went and recounted her story to the newspapers. It was not our story because we are still here. We did take small comfort in the fact that after her little tryst here, Nellie was never quite the same again. She kept it with her, you see, the viciousness this place bred. Oh, there is one thing we forgot to mention about reception, which is the oiled bronze plaque dedicated to the man who donated the money to build this place, which says, "While I live, I hope." We think it's kind of funny, which is the only reason we mention it here. And so you can read more of that short story in the other terrors. It has each little section in the asylum, including the baths and the infirmary and so on and so forth. And it's very much inspired by the work of journalist Nellie Bly, who actually did get into a women's asylum in the 1800s so that she could report on the conditions there for the women. So very much inspired by her. That's me. Thanks, y'all.
Fabulous.